Good morning. Welcome to RSBN Live. I'm Matthew Alvarez. We're getting ready for a press conference, an announcement for the results of Operation Restore Justice. We're going to hear from Pam Bondi, the Attorney General of the United States, the top of the DOJ, and of course, Kash Patel at the FBI. We'll have more details that we're hearing from Pam Bondi from early this morning outside the White House regarding the Epstein files. We'll get to that in just a second. It is exactly 10:30 Wednesday, May 7th. All of this brought to you by angelpaste.com. All you have to do is use the RSBN promo code. You'll get a percentage off the Miracle Cream, but also there's other products to check out as well. Out of Spring, Texas, they hire military veterans. They have a great product that's right there on the screen. Angelpaste.com. Use that RSBN promo code. Great sponsor here at Right Side Broadcasting Network. All right, so bottom of the hour. Thanks again for joining us. If you missed the Vice President, he spoke at the Munich Security Conference meeting just in Washington this morning. That's something you can watch on replay. I think today is one of those days where if you catch us live for all of the coverage, great. But if you miss a lot of it, excuse me, you can have the replay for all of the different events. So there's a lot on deck today, a lot on tap. And after this announcement here by Pam Bondi and Kash Patel, we will then have a 12 p.m. start time for our pre-show of the White House press briefing, which is slated for 1 o'clock. But we'll get to all that in just a bit. So this is scheduled for 10:45 this morning. So 10:45 this morning, we'll have this results of the Operation Restore Justice. So looking forward to that here on Right Side. Also, let's go to the Attorney General Pam Bondi, who earlier told reporters on camera outside of the White House after being asked about the Epstein files. She says, quote, the FBI is still reviewing tens of thousands of files. Also that there are hundreds of victims. So she obviously it's on her radar. It's something else that's been on her radar is yesterday when it came to all of the narcotics that have been seized by the government. Today, results of Operation Restore Justice. A lot of discussion on the various chats out there on Rumble and YouTube about, law and order and justice being served and the Epstein files. Well, we see you, we hear you, and we're awaiting this press conference with the FBI and the United States Attorney General, who again said the FBI is still reviewing tens of thousands of Epstein files, that there are hundreds of victims. So we'll see what information comes out from that vantage point. Also, again, at 12 o'clock Eastern, so about an hour and a half from now, we'll start our pre-show broadcast, our live coverage, leading into the press briefing from the White House. So a lot going on just in the first half of today, but also on the second half of today. RSBN host Robert McNeely will be here to cover some events happening a bit later as well. Let's go to President Trump just recently on Truth Social saying, quote, our court system is not letting me do the job I was elected to do. Activist judges must let the Trump administration deport murderers and other criminals who have come into our country illegally without delay. So that from the president not too long ago, within the past hour on Truth Social. Of course, we see that not only activist judges, but, outside of that whole thing, there's activist mayors or activist other people within government out there, whether it's local, regional, state, county, federal, that kind of thing. So what we're trying to do is see the corruption exit stage left so we can make our country not only great again, but healthy again, and not only through our food intake, but just overall, like all operations, healthy for our nation, which will net something for we the people, a better life and a better outlook, and no concern about a out of control government trying to, step on the people. I mean, that I still can't believe that. I know that I was born in the United States, like many of you were, and just to think though, in these other countries where the government literally just continuously puts their thumb down on the people. They want to control what they think. They want to control what they eat. They want to control through a social credit score, what they get or what they don't get. It's such an evil thing to have other people control other people in that way. That's why the Gadsden flag is so great. Don't tread on us. Don't tread on me. That's what we, the people, have said, by voting for President Donald Trump. The majority, again, I think this is what's great about not only that President Trump won, but the massive majority, the huge majority of our country voted for President Trump. They did that in 2020. Obviously, they did that in 2016. It's because we have been starving as a people for a leader that stands for us and doesn't just do as they call the dog and pony show. When I worked in media over the years, it would, even some of the camera people and I and other reporters and stuff, we'd say, oh, this is probably another dog and pony show. And what that means is just more red tape and more, press conferences that were fake, that we're doing this for the people, and the people that really were saying that didn't give one crap about it. They just went on with their lives. But we have people in Washington finally that care about we the people and care about, it's interesting. Let me stop there. They care about we the people, but let's be real. Everybody, including President Trump, you have to really obviously care about God first, but then you got to love yourself as well. What does the Bible say about that? Love the Lord God with all your heart, soul, strength, and mind, and love your neighbor as yourself. So it's okay to love yourself. And I think that we, the people that are running the government right now, President Trump and on, they care about their families as well. So they're really fighting for themselves, their family, and all of us, we the people, all together. I mean, you have to be ignorant to think that President Trump doesn't care about himself. He just cares about we the people. No, he cares about himself and everybody. He's fighting literally for himself at that White House. You don't usually think, I don't at least think about it that way sometimes. I always think that he's working for we the people, but he's actually working for, hey, I want to live in a free country. I want to be able to, practice my faith. I don't want a government to control me. So it's again, a government of the people, and the people we're talking about in this instance is President Trump and J.D. Vance and all of the great cabinet leaders and, Carolyn Leavitt and on there. So looking forward to seeing more of these press conferences coming up. So at 12 o'clock, we'll start with that coverage for leading into the White House press briefing with Carolyn Leavitt. Then also, prior to that, again, we're going to hear from Kash, Patel, and Pam Bondi. Now, those of you that say on the chats, what about the Epstein files? Well, Pam Bondi spoke about the Epstein files earlier this morning outside the White House. She was asked about them. She said, and I'm going to look here at my notes to make sure I get it all right. She says simply that the FBI is still reviewing thousands of files and that there are hundreds of victims. So that is the latest there. She didn't say when files would be released or anything like that. So just there's a 411 update on what we're hearing from outside the White House. Again, that is, there are receipts to prove it. There are cameras that were rolling on it just outside the White House. So just wanted to inform you on that. Also, callshe.com/RSBN. If you're looking to trade or bet on various things like, maybe science or technology, sports, politics, weather, really you could bring up any question you want, and people actually trade and bet on this stuff. And this site and this app is growing in popularity, callshe.com. I remember Elon Musk talking about Callshe the other day. So callshe.com/RSBN, great sponsor here at Right Side Broadcasting Network. Thanks again for streaming in with us. We're getting ready for a number of live events, including what we're seeing, what we're hearing is that the AG and the FBI director will be walking out from that vantage point there. And then we'll hear some information specifically. We're hearing that it's results of Operation Restore Justice. So getting reminded of really what that operation was and is, and then also results from it. So we'll have it live for you right here on Right Side. Meantime, today is, or this month is Military Appreciation Month. I want to show you this video. We did show it to you on the first stream. For those of you just joining us, a great video by the Department of Defense just appreciating our 6 branches of the military. Of course, that 6th branch being the United States Space Force for monitoring outer space when it comes to communications and various items that are out there, just keeping our country safe, not only from the ground, but to the air, to the sea, and to outer space. Let's take a look at this video from the DoD.
May is Military Appreciation Month, a time to honor the courage, sacrifice, and unwavering dedication of our nation's service members. For over 75 years, the U.S. Air Force Reserve has played a vital role in defending our nation, standing ready at a moment's notice to support global missions and domestic operations. Reserve citizen airmen represent the best of both worlds, balancing civilian careers with military service while bringing unique skill sets and perspectives to the fight. From disaster response to strategic deterrence, from cyber defense to medical care, the Air Force Reserve delivers unmatched capability, resilience, and commitment. This month and every month, we salute the extraordinary men and women of the Air Force Reserve and all who wear the uniform. Your service strengthens our force, our communities, and our nation.
Speaking of the military, June 14th, the 250th celebration for the United States Army. So that's Flag Day. That's also President Trump's birthday. Great date, June 14th, Saturday. You can watch the coverage right here on Right Side. Also, specifically, learn some details about the plans for that parade on June 14th, as first detailed by the AP, calling for 6,600 soldiers, 150 vehicles, and 50 helicopters to follow a route from Arlington, Virginia, to the National Mall, starting at the Pentagon. Fireworks will follow, so that's going to be quite the coverage on Saturday, June 14th. Speaking of future dates, May 13th through the 16th. I know we keep reminding you every day, but keeping you up to date on various things that are happening. May 13th through the 16th, the president will travel to 3 countries in the Middle East, as you may know now, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. We're also awaiting any big announcement that President Trump talked about yesterday. I believe it surrounds that trip there, so we'll await that announcement and we'll bring it to you as soon as we get it. Obviously, you could be following President Trump on Truth Social and you'll get it quickly there as well. But we always are staying on top of President Trump's Truth Social posts here at the network, live and at the minute. We do that a lot here, of course. I call it a Trump on Truth segment. So there's all sorts of ways to get the inside scoop on what's going on. Also, that's May 13th to the 16th, that Middle East trip. On the 24th, the president will speak at West Point in New York for the Army for the graduation ceremony there. So he'll have a second commencement speech on the 24th of May. And then June 14th next month will be that United States Army parade. Looking forward to having that coverage right here on Right Side on Saturday, June 14th. We know President Trump always talking about fake news. He said the other day, the polls from the fake news are like the news itself, fake. We are doing great, better than ever before. And of course, we can uproot the fake news. We can all do it together by simply just not watching, not clicking on, not listening to, and instead watching, conservative media. As you tell everybody, your friends and family and others about some of the options in conservative media, it's great to see that happen. As it's 1 minute from the start, we're told it was scheduled or is scheduled to start at 12:45 for this announcement about the results of Operation Rescue or Operation Restore Justice with the AG Bondi and the FBI Director Patel. So we'll hear what they have to say here shortly as they'll be walking out of the building there, and we'll have that in its entirety. And then programming note, starting at about 12 o'clock, so an hour and 15 minutes from now, we'll have a live pre-broadcast or pre-show for leading into the White House press briefing That is always must-watch streaming, in my opinion. Being in so-called news and involved in this whole thing called saving our country, right? I mean, even in conservative media, we have an obligation, I believe, to really speak up about really what's happening out there and common sense reporting. It's kind of like the unprecedented White House that we have. There's an unprecedented amount of reporting, or at least truth and transparency as to what's happening at the White House, what's happening at the Pentagon, what's happening at DOJ and the FBI. And again, just to get into that transparency aspect of it, we see what you guys are saying on the chats on Rumble and YouTube and X and Truth Social and Getter and on and on and on. We hear you, we see you. This isn't something where we turn a blind eye toward truth. We want to see the 20 core promises come to pass here in this country. We want to see the reform of America before our eyes. And we're seeing that as we get ready to see Pam Bondi, and there is Kash Patel. We're going to go there live in just a second. Again, she just talked about the Epstein files, saying the FBI is reviewing thousands of files and that there are hundreds of victims. Let's go to live to Washington right now.
Good morning. Thank you all for being here. We have a busy day here at the Department of Justice, as I'm sure a lot of you have seen already. Today, we are proud to announce the results of the FBI's Operation Restore Justice initiative. This historic, unprecedented nationwide operation led to the arrest of 205 child sex predators. Unbelievable. In just 5 days. This was an incredible operation done in conjunction with the FBI and our prosecutors. Children and their families now have a chance to heal. These are online predators. Think about this. 115 victims, children. In 5 days, we were able to help. This kind of work takes a toll on the FBI agents and the prosecutors who are doing this every single day. They are working tirelessly online, dealing with the dregs of our society, the worst of the worst, the people that hide behind a computer and target our young children every single day. Our law enforcement, our prosecutors, sit there and deal with this every day to get these monsters off the street. Director Patel and I, almost daily in our meetings, talk about these cases and what it does to our officers and our prosecutors, but also how many lives are being saved and how many children are being helped by this. Director Patel is going to get into the specific cases with you in a minute, but what I will tell you is these depraved human beings, if convicted, will face the maximum penalty in prison, some life. We will find you, we will arrest you, and we will charge you. If you are online targeting a child, you will not escape us. The FBI and the Department of Justice will come after you, and we will prosecute you. Parents, you have to know this is so serious. Your child has no right to privacy on the internet. None. You have to monitor what your kids are doing, whether they're playing games on the internet, on social media, any other websites that children, teenagers frequent, an online predator can find them. I always say it's from instant message to instant nightmare. Parents, they're talking to your kids like they're other children, and they're not. They're predators. They pose as children. They get them sometimes to post explicit pictures of themselves after they talk to them. And then in some cases, they even try to blackmail the children. The suicide rate among teens ages 14 to 17 has increased as a result of this as well. because teens are taken advantage of and they're manipulated online by child predators. So all of you being here today and covering this is so important, because parents need to know. You've got to talk to your kids. They think they're talking to other children, but most of the time they're not. Director Patel, thank you.
First and foremost, to the Department of Justice under General Bondi's leadership and all its components, because of your courage, we are here today protecting our most vulnerable, our children. Thank you, General Bondi. Thank you to so many of your colleagues here today that do this work tirelessly day in and day out and never get a moment's thanks. We should acknowledge all of them today. As the FBI director, I'm humbled to lead some of the bravest men and women in law enforcement, and I want to thank our 55 field offices, our 90-plus United States Attorney's offices, our CIOS section, our CRIM division here at the Department of Justice, and our field offices throughout the country with lawyers and prosecutors and agents working tirelessly on some of the harshest criminality we've ever seen. They don't take breaks because our children deserve a free and open society. I also want to just take a moment to emphasize the priority of this Department of Justice and this FBI. Our children. If you harm our children, you will be given no sanctuary. There is no place we will not come to hunt you down. There is no place we will not look for you. And there is no cage we will not put you in should you do harm to our children. The prioritization of this administration and General Bondi has made it abundantly clear to child predators, you will be hunted down and you will be prosecuted. And that is a refreshing thing to hear for the men and women who do this work tirelessly. And it's also an acknowledgement of the safety that we look forward to bringing America. As the Attorney General mentioned, there are a couple of cases worth highlighting. People in places of public trust have violated not only the law, but that public trust, to include teachers, law enforcement personnel, and other professionals that we look to safeguard our children, have not only violated the law, but violated the trust. In Minneapolis, defendant Jeremy Francis Plonsky, a Minneapolis state trooper and former Army reservist, was arrested for producing child sexual abuse material while in uniform. Not anymore. In Norfolk, Virginia, defendant Jose Alexis Valdez Sosa, an illegal immigrant from Mexico, again, allegedly arrested for transporting a minor across state lines. No more. Another example, right here in Washington, D.C., in the Metropolitan Police Department, Officer Linwood Barnhill, a former already convicted sex offender, was arrested again for exploiting more victims, more children, while on supervised release. These are just three examples that show you the extent and the depravity of these horrific crimes. And we need to team up together with the American public to find the rest. I want to give a special thanks to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children for the tireless work they do in partnering with us. And again, I want to thank the Department of Justice and all these folks here. And Pam, thank you for never wavering to defend our children.
Thank you. Thank you, Director Patel. And this ranges from, we have cases from California to New York to Florida, our entire country. And just in 1 week, again, 115 victims. Victims we have. 205 offenders have been charged in 1 week, thanks to the FBI. So think what's happening throughout this country. Children are being taken advantage of, and we have to stop it. Thank you for covering this very important topic today. Thank you.
All right, looking live now, 10:54 a.m. Eastern Time, 7:54 out there on the West Coast. Of course, we just heard from the United States Attorney General and the FBI Director talking about the results of the Operation Restore Justice. We're hearing that in 5 days, there were 205 child sex predators arrested in just 5 days. This was a joint effort, we're told, between the FBI and the DOJ prosecutors. AG Bondi saying, quote, children and their families have a chance to heal. So that is the news headline. 205 sexual predators have been arrested thanks to the DOJ and the FBI working in conjunction with each other. This, again, is the results of Operation Restore Justice. Operation Restore Justice. We'll see if there's any more results coming out of that operation there between the DOJ and the FBI. Also, earlier today, as I mentioned prior to this broadcast, that the AG Bondi was asked about the Epstein files. She said that the FBI is reviewing thousands of files. There are hundreds of victims. Not a lot of details coming after that when it comes to any kind of release, but at the end of the day, that's the latest that we're hearing here at Right Side Broadcasting Network. We have more live coverage coming up in just about an hour and 4 minutes to be exact from now. 12 p.m. Eastern, we will get that pre-show coverage leading into the White House press briefing room as we'll hear from Carolyn Levitt and the Q&A back and forth with some of the fake news, of course, some of the conservative media, but still at the end of the day, hearing from Carolyn Levitt coming up a little bit later. We also have a lot of other live events on tap here at Right Side Broadcasting Network. Let's thank a few sponsors before we end this broadcast. Again, we'll be starting another one up at 12 Eastern, barring any breaking news from now until then. Let's go with Colonial Metals Group, freegoldguide.com/RSBN. You can get a free info kit on gold and silver right there with Colonial Metals Group. Also, Angel Paste, we thank them as well for being a great sponsor. Angelpaste.com. Use the RSBN promo code to get a percentage off. A great company out of Spring, Texas. All right, so it is about the top of the hour, getting close to it here on Right Side. For all of us at RSBN, I'm Matthew Alvarez. We'll see you at 12 o'clock Eastern. We'll see you then.
Welcome to Right Side Broadcasting Network, your trusted conservative news outlet. At RSBN, we deliver the truth when the mainstream media falls short. Since 2015, we've proudly broadcasted every single one of President Trump's iconic MAGA rallies, bringing you the excitement and energy live before anyone else. By watching RSBN, you get an unfiltered front row view of the action on the ground. We interview the crowds to give a voice to millions of Americans just like you. We show you President Trump's speeches in their entirety, free from interruptions and censorship. We cover the stories that matter to you with the integrity and passion you deserve. Thank you for choosing RSBN as your home for America First News. Together, we stand strong, united, and informed. So join us and be part of the right side of history.
You've heard how hard it can be to get access to medications like ivermectin, all the things they don't want you to take because they're actually effective and they don't cost all that much, right? You've seen that one before. So it's critical to have something like that on hand for any emergency and to be prepared in a time of crisis. And that's why I want to tell you about All Family Pharmacy. They're cutting through the nonsense and they make it easy to get hard to find medications when you need them most. They'll provide the prescription, no hoops to jump through, no waiting room, no hassle, and they deliver it right to your door. All Family Pharma even lets you order in bulk so you can stay ahead of the curve. Head over to allfamilypharmacy.com for 10% off your first order. Again, allfamilypharmacy.com. It's simple. Get the 10% savings. Be prepared.
President Trump is keeping his promises and saving America. And your kids can learn all about it for free with a new Kids Guide to President Trump. This fun guide shows kids all the steps President Trump is taking to put America back on top of the world stage, including building a strong economy, protecting our borders, and negotiating trade deals. It's an exciting way for kids to learn about President Trump's outstanding leadership. Act now and get a free bonus guide, The Courage of the President. Order now at freetrumpbook.com. That's freetrumpbook.com.
Hey y'all, it's Silk from the Diamond and Silk Chit Chat Live Show. Look, don't forget to check me out right here on RSBN Network. Be sure to watch the show on Right Side Broadcasting Network, and I want you to support Right Side Broadcasting Network. Yes, it's imperative that you do so, okay? I look to see y'all soon. Bye-bye.
Hello, everyone. I'm excited to announce the next generation of energy drinks, Rev 7. It has no sugar and no caffeine. Instead, Rev 7 uses Go BHB. Go BHB is one of the body's primary ketones, and it provides the most efficient and clean fuel that your body needs. It also helps you stay energized all day with no crashes. Not only that, it produces 3 times more brain energy than sugar, which helps boost your memory, focus, and mental sharpness. It also helps reduce stress and helps balance your mood. Rev 7 does all that while being the best tasting energy drink ever. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save 20% today. I'm so sure you're going to love Rev 7. For a limited time, you get our introductory 3-pack absolutely free. I drink Rev 7 every day and I absolutely love it, and so will you.